Hello, and welcome to Week 6 of the Little Legends League. This week I'm going up against Izzy, who has a Sun team. Looking at her team, the main threats to mine are Reshiram and the Evolutions, which are both Terra captains with these Terra types. Ninetales reliably gets Sun up, and she has some other strong physical sweepers like Iron Boulder, Sneasler, and Minior. That being said, let's get into my team for this week. For the first time, I'm not bringing Magearna. Magearna really struggles with fire types, and with so many on Izzy's team I had to adapt. That's why I started off with the Stealth Rock lead in Dugtrio. Izzy's only hazard removal is Cragonal, which Dugtrio can outrun and KO its Iron Head. Dugtrio can also cripple something with Endeavor after being brought down to its Focus Sash. Otherwise, Stab Earthquake is a strong move into Izzy's team. I think Rocks looks right into Sun, so Dugtrio should be able to immediately apply pressure. Next up is one of my two explicit Sun counters, Giratina. Giratina will be serving as my physical wall and can take on any of Izzy's physical attackers. It does especially well against otherwise scary threats like Sneasler and Iron Boulder. The main threat that I built around with Giratina was Leafeon, which is very scary with either of its Terra types. For Terra Dark, I gave Giratina a Colbur Bear to eat out a knockoff and respond with Draco Meteor. With this special attack investment, Giratina can OHKO Leafeon after Rocks and Life Orb recoil if it's running max attack and no bulk. Even if Leafeon is bulkier, Draco can still do massive damage to it. Wisp can cripple any physical attackers other than Terrifier Leafeon, Roar can rack up Rocks damage, and Shadow Ball is reliable damage. Giratina will stop any physical sweeper right in its tracks. Now for the second Sun counter, Slowking. Slowking is here specifically to deal with Reshiram, hence max HP and special defense. Reshiram gets access to Solar Beam, so I gave Slowking a Rindo Berry to counter that. Although Slowking can hit Reshiram with Earthquake, Slowking's main job is to switch into Reshiram and pivot out with Chilly Reception. Turning Sun off is huge because it opens up Sandslash and forces Ninetales to take Rocks damage coming back in. I also gave Slowking Yawn to force switches and Future Sight to pair Chilly Reception. Slowking's Water typing and Chilly Reception are huge in this matchup, so it was a must bring for me. Now for one of the big hitters, Necrozma. Izzy's team is very fast overall, so Trick Room Necrozma looks really strong. With max HP, Necrozma can reliably set up Trick Room and underspeed almost everything. Power Up Meteor Beam will let Necrozma nuke pretty much anything in front of that, and after that I can go crazy with Photon Geyser and Earth's Power, which is an unresisted combo in this matchup. I also gave Necrozma Terra Fire, just in case he needs to resist a fire type move in a pinch. I'm confident Necrozma will get at least 1 or 2 KOs with this set, and I think it'll be pretty cool. In the 5th slot is the aforementioned Sandslash, whose job is to receive Slowking's Snow and get to work. I couldn't reliably run a Swords Dance Sweeper set since Ninetales could turn off Snow and keep Sandslash from Slush Rushing. That's why I opted for Life Orb, which provides immediate power. With 100 speed EVs, Sandslash outruns everything in Snow, so I was able to dump spare EVs into bulk. Once Sandslash gets in, it can spam powerful stabs and go Terra Ground to blow most things up with Earthquake. Since I wasn't running Swords Dance, I gave it Ice Shard to pick off weakened targets. Priority is always a nice option. Between Sandslash and Necrozma, I should be able to punch a hole in Izzy's team. Now for the final Mon, Espathra. Izzy's only way to stop Psychic types is Terra Dark Leafeon, which is a shaky answer at best, so I finally pulled out Espathra's classic Stored Power sweeping set. For the uninitiated, the game plan is to use Protect and Calm Mind a couple times, and then spam Stored Power. For Terra Dark Leafeon, I brought Dazzling Gleam. Espathra is really straightforward, but it's going to be really hard to stop, I think. And against a weakened team, I think it can clean up the match. So now that I've gone over my team, let's get into the match. Alright, so here we are with the game. One thing I want to mention before we get into anything else is that there's no Ninetales, which really surprised me. So this actually isn't a Sun team anymore. It's something else, really. But that being said, let's get into it. So I lead off with Dugtrio, because it's my Rocks lead, that's its job. Get off the Rocks, and we immediately run into first interesting set, is it's a bulky substitute Leafeon, with Leech Seed and Yawn, which I was not at all expecting. Ironhead doesn't even break the sub, which is a testament to how bulky Leafeon is. And I know this thing's gonna be fucking me up if I let it sit there. So I go to Giratina, figuring to eat off. I get a knockoff, so Coldberry does its job, and I go ahead and roar it out. Brings out I was about to say Glately. It's Glaceon, which eats all of the Stealth Rock damage back with the Leech Seed on Giratina. Starts setting up the Calm Mind. I go for Earthquake here instead of Ironhead, thinking it might go Terra Fire. After all, Izzy did have the choice between Terrifier Glaceon and Terra Dark Leafeon. They don't. They actually hit me with the Ice Shard, which is a cool move. Props to them for that. Freeze Strike crits me, but Necrozma is bulky, so I live to set up the Trick Room. Meteor Beam goes off, and now it's time for Necrozma. Iron Boulder comes in, instantly dies. Crowgonal comes in now, and Photon Geyser is not going to kill them. So they get off a spin. I knew I was going to live either way. They couldn't hit me hard enough. And another Photon Geyser finish off the Crowgonal. So that's half the team gone, just thanks to Necrozma alone, basically. So it goes down to Blue Flare, but I'm happy to let Necrozma go. It did its job, did great. So now I go into Slowking, the Reshiram, counter. Draco does only half, so I'm able to easily chilly out into Frozone, the Saiyan Slash, go Terra Ground immediately, and knock out Reshiram in one shot with Earthquake, which is huge. So Leafeon comes back in. I just go for a triple axle because it's gonna be strong either way, as they finally pull the trigger on Terra Dark and they go for a substitute. But at this point, it's pretty much over. Leafeon isn't gonna be able to really break my team in any way because Frozone is doing enough damage to keep it low. They go for a knockoff. Frozone gets low. I'm not sure if it has any speed, so at this point, I just want to make sure I keep them below sub range. So I go for the Ice Shard, and they take me out. And now it's Leafeon at only 27%. Dazzling Gleam is easily able to finish it off. And finally, we have the Sneasler coming in, which basically cannot defeat a Spother 1v1. Goes for the third chop. I live, go for a store power. They do go into Sash, so they are able to live one. They go for the third chop. I have a lot of bulk on this Spothra, so I live it. And at this point, it's over. I go for Protect here because, like, wait, what if I'm burdened, despite the obvious Poison Touch proc? But then I finish it off with another Sword Power, and that is the game. So yeah, Necrozma, Sand Slash, and Spothra all did their job. Everything did its job. So I'm really happy with the outcome of this game. GG's to Izzy. You had some cool brings. I really like the Ice Shard Glaceon. That was cool. And yeah, thanks for watching the video. And hopefully I will see you next week for week 7. And then week 8 after that. Should be coming pretty soon. And then after that, it's going to be playoffs. Hope to see you there.